Good evening, everyone. Success is often seen as something that happens suddenly, like a big breakthrough or a life-changing event. However, the reality is quite different. True success comes from consistent efforts made over time. The idea that small progress leads to big results is a powerful concept that can change the way we approach life. It reminds us that even tiny improvements made daily can create significant changes in the long run. Think about how a river carves through a rock. It doesn't happen in a day, a week, or even a year. It takes decades, even centuries, for the water to slowly shape the rock. The same principle applies to self-improvement. When we work on ourselves, even if it's just a little bit each day, we may not notice an immediate difference, but over time, the transformation is undeniable. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting instant results. They start a new habit like exercising or reading, and if they don't see immediate benefits, they get discouraged and quit. But real progress is not about sudden leaps. It's about steady and continuous improvement. A student who studies just 10 extra minutes every day might not notice a big difference in a week, but after a year, that extra time will add up to a great amount of knowledge. A person who walks for 15 minutes daily may not see weight loss in a week, but over months and years, they will become much healthier and fitter. The key to achieving big results through small progress is consistency. Many people start new habits with great enthusiasm, but fail to maintain them. The secret to long-term success is to stay committed, even on days when motivation is low. When you improve yourself by just 1% daily, it may seem like nothing, but over time, the improvement becomes noticeable. If you improve by 1% every day for a whole year, by the end of the year, you will be 37 times better than when you started. Small progress also helps in building confidence. When we achieve even a tiny goal, it gives us a sense of accomplishment and motivates us to keep going. For example, if someone wants to become a better public speaker, they don't need to deliver a perfect speech on the first attempt. Instead, they can start by practicing in front of a mirror for 5 minutes daily, then gradually speak in front of a small audience, and eventually they will be able to speak confidently on a bigger stage. Another important thing to remember is that failure is a part of the process. Many people give up when they make mistakes or face setbacks. However, those who understand the power of small progress know that failure is just a step toward improvement. Learning from mistakes and making small adjustments help in achieving long-term success. This principle applies to every aspect of life, whether it's personal growth, education, career, or relationships. Small, consistent efforts create deep, lasting changes. If you want to build strong relationships, simple actions like listening attentively, showing appreciation, and spending quality time can strengthen bonds over time. If you want to excel in studies, just reviewing notes for a few minutes daily can improve understanding and memory. Big achievements are nothing more than the result of small steps taken consistently. Every great athlete, scientist, artist, or successful person has built their success through small, daily improvements. No one becomes an expert overnight. It is the little efforts made over time that lead to mastery. So instead of waiting for a big opportunity or the perfect moment, start today. Take a small step toward your goal, no matter how tiny it seems. Keep moving forward, and one day you will look back and realize how far you have come. Small progress is not just a way to success. It is the only way. Success is not about making big efforts once in a while. It is about staying consistent with small efforts over time. Many people start something new with great excitement, whether it is a new habit, a goal, or a dream. However, as time passes, their motivation fades and they give up. The real difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not talent or intelligence, but consistency. The ability to keep going even when things become difficult is what leads to real progress. One of the biggest myths about success is that it happens overnight. People see athletes winning medals, actors achieving fame, or students securing top positions, and they assume these achievements happen suddenly. In reality, these individuals worked hard every single day for years before they reached their goals. A student who studies a little every day will always perform better than someone who studies only before exam. An athlete who trains regularly will always be stronger than someone who exercises only when they feel like it. Consistency helps in building habits. When something is done regularly, it becomes a part of daily life. At first, it may seem difficult, but with time, it becomes natural. For example, if someone wants to develop the habit of reading, they do not need to read a whole book in one day. If they start by reading just 5 pages daily, after some time, it will become a habit. The same applies to any goal, whether it is learning a new language, improving physical fitness, or becoming better at a skill. Small daily efforts add up to great success. Another reason why consistency is important is that it builds discipline. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline keeps a person moving forward even when they do not feel like it. A person who relies only on motivation will quit when things become tough. However, someone who has built the habit of staying consistent will keep working no matter how they feel. This self-discipline is what leads to mastery in any field. Failure is a part of life, but consistency helps in overcoming it. Many people give up after facing failure, thinking that they are not capable. However, those who remain consistent learn from their mistakes and keep going. Every failure teaches a lesson and helps in making improvements. A writer who writes every day, even if their first drafts are not perfect, will eventually improve and become successful. A speaker who practices daily will one day speak with confidence in front of a large audience. Consistency also creates trust and reliability. In personal relationships, being consistent in actions and words builds strong bonds. If someone only shows care and respect occasionally, it does not create a deep connection. But when a person is consistently kind, supportive, and respectful, trust develops naturally. The same is true in professional life. Employers prefer workers who show up every day and perform their tasks with dedication, rather than those who work well only when they feel like it. One major challenge people face with consistency is losing patience. In today's fast-paced world, everyone wants quick results. However, real success takes time. A tree does not grow overnight, and neither does a skill, a career, or a dream. The people who stay patient and keep working, even when they do not see immediate results, are the ones who achieve great things in life. In the end, consistency is the key to unlocking potential. It transforms dreams into reality, skills into expertise, and small efforts into great achievements. Whether in studies, career, fitness, or relationships, being consistent always leads to success. No matter how slow the progress seems, as long as one keeps moving forward every day, they will reach their destination. The secret to success is not in doing something perfectly once, but in doing it regularly without giving up. Our future is not shaped by big decisions alone. It is built by the small habits we follow every day. These small actions may seem unimportant in the moment, but over time they create a powerful impact on our lives. Good habits push us toward success, while bad habits slowly pull us away from our goals. The difference between an average life and a great life is often the result of the daily choices we make. Every successful person, whether in academics, sports, business, or any other field, has built their success through consistent habits. No one becomes an expert overnight. A student who reviews their lessons for just 15 minutes daily will have a much better understanding than someone who studies only before exams. An athlete who practices a little every day will always be ahead of someone who trains only when they feel like it. These small, repeated actions shape who we become in the future. The power of small habits lies in their ability to grow over time. If a person reads just 1 page of a book every day, they will have read 365 pages in a year, which is equal to a full book. If someone spends 10 minutes daily learning a new skill, they will become much better at it in a year. These small steps may not seem like much at first, but they create massive progress in the long run. Bad habits work in the same way. A person who ignores their studies every day will eventually struggle in exams. Someone who eats unhealthy food regularly may not see a difference immediately, but over time it affects their health. This is why it is important to be mindful of the habits we develop. Small, negative choices may not seem harmful today, but they can lead to big problems in the future. One of the best ways to develop good habits is to start small. Many people fail to improve themselves because they try to change everything at once. Instead of trying to study for hours in one day, it is better to start with just a few minutes daily. Instead of deciding to exercise for an hour, starting with 10 minutes is more effective. Small, manageable habits are easier to stick to. And once they become part of our routine, they naturally grow over time. Another important thing to remember is that habits create identity. If someone exercises daily, even for a few minutes, they begin to see themselves as a fit and active person. If a student develops the habit of reading regularly, they start identifying as a knowledgeable and disciplined learner. Our habits define who we are, and when we build positive habits, we become a better version of ourselves. Habits also help in reducing stress and making life easier. When something becomes a habit, it no longer requires extra effort. For example, brushing teeth in the morning does not feel like a task because it is a habit. Similarly, if a student develops a habit of studying for a short time daily, they won't feel stressed before exams. Good habits remove unnecessary pressure and create a smooth path towards success. It is also important to be patient while developing habits. Many people expect quick results and give up when they don't see immediate change. However, just like a tree takes time to grow from a small seed, habits take time to show their effect. The key is to remain consistent and trust the process. In the end, small habits shape our future more than we realize. Whether it is in studies, health, personal growth, or relationships, our daily actions determine where we will be in the future. By choosing good habits and staying consistent with them, we can create a successful and fulfilling life. Every small step counts, and over time, these small efforts turn into great achievements. Failure is something that everyone experiences at some point in life, yet many people fear it. They see failure as the end of the road, a sign that they are not good enough or capable enough. However, the truth is that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of the journey to success. Every great achievement, every inspiring success story has failure as one of its key chapters. Instead of being afraid of failure, we should learn to embrace it, grow from it, and use it as a stepping stone toward our goals. One of the biggest reasons why failure is important is that it teaches valuable lessons. When we fail, we get a chance to analyze our mistakes, understand what went wrong, and find ways to improve. Without failure, there is no learning. A student who gets a low score in an exam may feel disappointed, but if they use that failure to identify their weaknesses and work on them, they will perform better in the future. An athlete who loses a match can train harder and come back stronger. Every failure provides an opportunity to improve and grow. History is filled with examples of successful people who failed multiple times before achieving their goals. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, failed over 1,000 times before he finally succeeded. When asked about his failures, he famously said, "I have not failed. I just found 1,0,0,0,0 ways that won't work." His mindset toward failure made him one of the greatest inventors of all time. Similarly, Walt Disney was once told that he lacked imagination before he went on to build one of the most successful entertainment companies in the world. These examples show that failure does not define a person. What defines them is how they respond to failure. Failure also helps build resilience. Life is full of challenges, and those who learn how to handle failure become stronger and more determined. If a person gives up after facing failure once, they will never know how close they were to success. On the other hand, those who keep trying despite failures develop a strong mindset. They learn that setbacks are temporary and that persistence is the key to achieving their dreams. Another important thing to remember is that failure removes fear. Many people do not even try new things because they are afraid of failing. But once they experience failure and realize that it is not the end of the world, they become braver, they become willing to take risks, try new ideas, and step out of their comfort zones. This courage is what leads to innovation and creativity. If people always played it safe, there would be no new discoveries, no groundbreaking inventions, and no remarkable success stories. Failure also teaches humility. When a person succeeds without facing any obstacles, they may take success for granted. But when someone works hard, faces failure, and then achieves success, they value their achievements more. They also develop empathy for others who are struggling and become more understanding and supportive. This makes them not just successful, but also wiser and more compassionate individuals. One of the biggest mistakes people make is giving up too soon. They let failure discourage them instead of using it as motivation. The difference between successful and unsuccessful people is not that one never fails, it is that successful people never quit. They keep moving forward, adjusting their approach, learning from their mistakes, and believing in themselves. In the end, failure is not something to be feared or avoided. It is an essential part of the journey to success. It teaches lessons, builds strength, removes fear, and makes us better individuals. The most important thing is to never stop trying. Every failure brings us one step closer to our goals, and as long as we keep going, success is always within reach. Many people believe that success comes from taking big dramatic steps. However, the truth is that great achievements are the result of small, consistent efforts made over time. Every small step counts, no matter how tiny it may seem at the moment. Whether it is learning a new skill, improving health, or working toward a dream, small daily actions eventually lead to big results. One of the biggest reasons why small steps matter is that they build momentum. When a person takes a small step toward their goal every day, they slowly develop a habit. Over time, these small actions become second nature, making it easier to stay on track. For example, if someone wants to get fit, they do not need to start with an intense workout. Simply walking for 10 minutes daily can build the habit of physical activity. Eventually, this small effort turns into a bigger fitness routine, leading to better health. Small steps also help in overcoming fear and hesitation. Many people never start working toward their dreams because they feel overwhelmed by the size of their goals. They think that they need to make big moves all at once, which often leads to fear of failure. However, when they break their goal into small, manageable steps, it becomes much easier to take action. A person who wants to become a good public speaker does not need to deliver a speech in front of a large crowd immediately. They can start by practicing in front of a mirror, then speaking in front of a small group of friends, and gradually building confidence. Another important reason why small steps count is that they lead to steady progress. Progress does not always happen in big jumps. It happens through consistent effort. A student who studies for just 15 minutes every day will learn much more over time compared to someone who studies for hours only before exams. Knowledge builds up slowly, and each small study session adds to a deeper understanding of the subject. The same principle applies to any skill, whether it is writing, playing an instrument, or learning a new language. Small steps also help in maintaining motivation. When people try to achieve big things all at once, they often lose motivation because the goal seems too far away. However, by focusing on small achievements along the way, they feel a sense of progress. Each small success provides encouragement to keep going. If a person is trying to write a book, writing just one page a day may not seem like much, but in a year they will have written 365 pages, which is enough for a complete book. Failure is another challenge that people face on the path to success. However, when the focus is on small steps, failure becomes less discouraging. If someone takes a big risk and fails, they may feel like giving up. But when they take small steps, even if they fail, the impact is not as severe. They can easily learn from their mistake, make adjustments, and keep moving forward. Small failures become lessons rather than obstacles. Another advantage of taking small steps is that they create long-term success. Many people look for shortcuts or quick results, but real success requires patience and persistence. Just like a tree does not grow overnight, personal growth and achievements take time. A person who saves a small amount of money every month may not become rich instantly, but over years their savings will grow into something valuable. The same applies to health, education, relationships, and career growth. In the end, every small step counts because success is built one step at a time. No effort is wasted, and every little action contributes to a bigger outcome. Whether the goal is big or small, consistent, daily efforts will always lead to progress. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or trying to achieve everything at once, the key is to start now, take small steps, and trust the process. Over time, these small steps will create a path to success, proving that even the smallest efforts can make the biggest difference. Growth and success do not come from staying in a comfort zone. They come from challenging yourself every single day. When people push themselves beyond their limits, they discover new abilities, gain confidence, and move closer to their goals. Whether in studies, career, fitness, or personal growth, challenging yourself daily leads to continuous improvement and success. One of the main reasons why daily challenges are important is that they help break personal limits. Many people believe they can only do a certain amount of work or achieve a limited level of success. However, when they push themselves a little more every day, they realize they are capable of much more. A student who studies for an extra 15 minutes daily or tries to solve a more difficult problem than usual will find their learning ability improving over time. An athlete who increases their training intensity step by step will become stronger and faster. These small daily challenges add up and lead to extraordinary achievements. Challenging yourself daily also builds discipline and mental strength. When people do only what feels easy or comfortable, they never develop the ability to handle difficulties. However, when they push themselves to do something hard every day, they become mentally tougher. Facing challenges regularly trains the mind to stay strong, even in difficult situations. This is why successful people in any field constantly set new challenges for themselves. They do not wait for inspiration or motivation. They train themselves to keep going no matter how hard things get. Another reason to challenge yourself daily is that it makes life more exciting. When people stop growing or learning, life becomes repetitive and boring. However, when they set new challenges, whether it is learning a new skill, improving a weakness, or taking on a difficult task, life becomes more engaging and fulfilling. For example, if someone challenges themselves to read one new book every month, they will gain knowledge and feel a sense of achievement. If someone challenges themselves to wake up earlier and exercise daily, they will feel healthier and more energetic. These small challenges add excitement and meaning to life. Daily challenges also help in overcoming fear and self-doubt. Many people do not take action because they are afraid of failure. However, when they push themselves a little every day, their confidence grows and fear becomes weaker. If a person is afraid of speaking in public, they can challenge themselves to speak in front of a small group first, then a larger audience. If someone struggles with expressing their ideas, they can challenge themselves to write a little every day. Step by step, these challenges remove fear and build self-belief. One of the most important aspects of challenging yourself is consistency. Taking on a big challenge once in a while is not enough. Real growth comes from small daily efforts. Just like a muscle grows when it is trained regularly, the mind and abilities develop when they are challenged daily. Successful students, athletes, and professionals do not rely only on talent. They push themselves consistently. Challenging yourself daily also helps in discovering new opportunities. When people do not push their limits, they remain stuck in the same place. However, when they step out of their comfort zones, they open the door to new possibilities. A student who challenges themselves to participate in a competition may discover a hidden talent. A person who challenges themselves to start a small business may find a passion for entrepreneurship. The more people challenge themselves, the more opportunities they create for their future. In the end, self-growth and success come from pushing beyond limits every day. Whether it is a small step or a big challenge, Every effort made today leads to a better tomorrow. By challenging yourself daily, you become stronger, smarter, and more capable of achieving your dreams. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, start now. Take on a challenge, push your limits, and grow into the best version of yourself. See you in the next video.